BC is now the first province in the country to require a 3-day cooling off period for home buyers to catch their breath, think about the biggest purchase of their lives. This move is supposed to help dampen a red-hot market, but in this cooling market, there are concerns it could leave some sellers in a pretty tough spot. Joining us with a closer look at the impact of this new measure is Stuart Somerville, professor at the UBC Sauder School of Business. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lindsey.
Okay, so walk us through this 3-day cooling period. What is this?
So the idea is you sign a purchase and sale agreement, and then you have 3 days to withdraw from that agreement, subject to a payment, right? So you don't get to walk away from for free, but you're not on the hook for the whole payment for the house or anything else in the contract. So it's giving you that sort of 3-day second thought window. And
you can walk away for any reason?
Yeah, the reasons aren't really specified because I think that it's not that you have to necessarily have a clear and valid reason, and proving a clear and valid reason when you have the space for second thoughts would be hard to get to anyhow. I think the main goal of the proposal was really on the home inspection side, where probably like Ontario when the market was really hot, you'd have homes having an open house on Thursday and then submit your bids on Sunday. There's a stampede of people submitting their bids. Your broker tells you, oh, well, you can't have any subject tos or any constraints on the bid. And so therefore you never got a chance to have the home inspected before you submitted a bid. And all of a sudden you're on the hook for a, purchase of over $1 million. So that was, that's the real goal, to give it time to do a home inspection.
But during this cooling market, does it make sense to implement this now?
There's not nearly the need for it now because you're not seeing any of those kinds of stampedes. So, the problem with these policies is kind of hard to put in a policy with an on-off switch. You're kind of sort of stuck in a regime and people have to be used to it. And of course, the problem now is you've got sellers who they finally get a buyer and the buyer says, I'm having second thoughts. This is going to cost more than I think. You better lower the price by 100,000 or I'm going to walk. And so you sort of swung the pendulum the other way.
Well, and I also think, there's so many holes in this for me. When I think about the sellers, for example, they have to wait that 3-day period. So maybe they've lost the bid number 2 and 3. And then let's say they've staged their house. So they've got to stage it for longer. If that person pulls out, there's costs involved here.
Yeah, exactly. The way we want to think of it is a zero-sum game, and we've moved something from the seller side to the buyer side. I'd say globally that's still the better place for it to be, because I think the buyer has the most risks in these kinds of situations because they really don't know anything about the house and the seller does. And for first-time buyers, I think that's a particularly acute issue.
Yeah.
But I think it's incumbent on the government to sort of pay attention to what's going on and make changes as things demand.
Yeah. Okay. So during this 3-day cooling period, will the offer amount be made public? Do we know?
No. In the same way that offers really aren't made public until closing happens. That's different what a listing agent or a listing broker does. That's a private decision. But in terms of being truly publicly available, that happens when the sale is registered in your land title office.
I just see this as problematic for, let's say, here's a scenario. I'm selling my house. There's another house being sold down the street, but I want that house to go away because I want mine to be the most competitive. So you bid up that one, you take the 3 days, get my house on the market, and look, everyone's looking at my house now because I've already sort of put that one on hold. Do you see what I'm saying here? I just wonder.
Yeah, but it does come with a cost. It's not that you get to walk away with free, so it's not a costless strategy.
How much would you have to pay if you walk?
I confess that I don't remember exactly. It's one of those things where a year ago when we were talking about the policy and having compensation, I remember what the amount was, and now I don't remember nearly as much.
Yeah.
But the thing to remember is, you're making that bid. The seller didn't have to accept your bid. The seller didn't have to accept your bid, right? If wait, my neighbor who's down the street is looking to buy the bid, there is. There's buyer beware and there's seller beware too.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see how this plays out, and we'll see if this plays out across the country as well. Stuart, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Oh, it was a real pleasure. Have a wonderful new year.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.